Hello everyone! Welcome back for more Let's Play Sam and Max in the Devil's Playhouse. I have rewound a bit here, mainly because it gives me a really good, time to actually talk and explain what's going on here. But just in, for those of you who haven't quite caught on, basically what's going on here is we get a little interrogation scene. We get to go back and forth between I think three different... Yeah, it should be three, unless I'm misremembering something. Three different people, and interrogate them, catch out the lies, and figure out where Skunkape took Max's brain. Yeah, it's that simple. However, not so simple, and this is actually kind of a fun little bit. If you've ever played the Ace Attorney games, this might remind you just a tad bit of questioning and cross-examining witnesses and the like, because you're looking for lies. I'd put the music with it, but I don't have it handy. Oh well. Live and learn, prepare for these things a little better. And also, I wanted to say that right now, no, I'm not going through every conversation topic that we can go through. That would take a very long time, and much longer than I want to spend on this one section of video. I want to get this interrogation scene over in one video if possible, and later, if I have time, and, well, I'm pretty sure there will be interest in it, I will try to go back through and do every single conversation option at every single junction, and record it and just put it up as a standalone video, which will probably be a very long standalone video. So anyway, with that in mind, I will try to get through this as quickly as I can. I will at least hear all of their storylines out once, so you can hear their incoherent rambling. And it'll give you hints as to where we need to find the lies and all this. And of course, like Flint said, we've got to catch them we've actually got to catch them with proof. And you notice we won't have Jimmy anymore. We will have a new rat named Frankie. So anyway, with that in mind, let's get started, shall we?
I wrote a mental note to thank Flint at Max's funeral and got ready to squeeze some punks. General Skunkape. I should have known. That space ape had wanted Max's brain ever since he found out it was special. Now that special brain was gone, and I was cut loose, drifting in the neon current, hoping for a lucky break. Hello, ugly.
Speaking of lucky breaks...
You're one of Skunkape's goons. Where's your boss? What did he do to my little buddy?
I don't know. I haven't seen General Skunkape since you unjustly imprisoned him in the penal zone.
Well, let's hear him out.
Forget his final terrified howl as it echoed across the dimensional boundaries. Anyhow, since Skunkape's imprisonment, I've been reevaluating my life choices. I've abandoned violence for a career as a science spinner. It's a very fulfilling, low-temperature job, more suited to a space ape of a certain age. But enough about me. You should talk to the rat. Yes, the rat. He certainly seems plugged into the ins and outs of this gloriously filthy metropolis.
So, there's his whole story, at least for now. We'll have to catch him in a lie later, but for now, let's get to the part where he mentioned the rat, since that's new information for us. We got a new person to interrogate.
But where's Skunkape?
I already told you. I don't know. I haven't seen General Skunkape since you unjustly imprisoned him in the penal zone. I'll never forget his final terrified howl as it
let's
echoed
see.
across
Let's go ahead
the
and noir him to
dimensional
death here.
Unjustly. Don't make me chortle. When you get right down to it, we all deserve to get tossed into the penal zone. You, me, the guy who delivers your deep dish pizzas, all of us, bubbling over with sin and corruption and...
Is there a point to this, or are you just trying to get me depressed?
Sorry, just thinking out loud. Where were we?
As I was saying, since Skunkape's imprisonment, I've been reevaluating my life choices. I've abandoned violence for a career as a science fiend.
You can't reevaluate your way out of fate, chump. We're all headed for a pine box and a boilerplate eulogy. And you can't change that any more than a tiger can change his pants.
You possess a very depressing worldview.
Doesn't he,
It
though?
comes with the territory when someone cuts out your partner's brain.
But enough about me. You should talk to the rat. Yes,
Okay,
the
let's
rat.
actually advance
Certainly
things here.
seems-
Rat? What rat?
Frankie the rat. He traffics in stolen merchandise and tawdry gambling rings.
Where can I find him?
He hangs out on the corner of Veni and Vidi in the Latin Quarter.
We'll be back.
Frankie the Rat. The name left a bad taste on my tongue and an itchy sensation in my boxers. Still, there wasn't a rodent more plugged into the bad wiring in the city.
Mickey T's Radio Yurt. Don't run. It'll only make it worse.
Hey, Rat.
Sam, buddy, how's it hanging?
My partner's got a bad case of a missing brain, and someone thinks you might know something about it.
Brain, huh? Well, I did see something unusual and brain-related a little while back.
Spill!
I was given directions to a confused tourist. Poor fellow
So let's
was
hear him
wandering
out.
around in circles, scaring all the kiddies with his umlauts and tvortisnocks and whatnot. I was almost done helping the guy, see? When bam! All of a sudden, this space ape comes barreling down the street, fighting with some other mook. A space ape carrying a brain!
Skunkape.
I hadn't seen anything that weird since Aunt Jacqueline's vacation slides from Pismo Beach with the jellyfish on the water skis. Anyways, so I grabbed the tourist and we ducked behind a bunch of crates with the other gorilla. We kept our heads down until the fight moved on down the street. And that's all I know about
Other
the space
gorilla,
ape what
huh?
took your buddy's brain. No fooling. That's all I know. I don't know no more.
Uh-huh. Well, let's hear about the directions at least.
One more time. What do you know about my partner's brain?
It's like I was telling you. I was given directions to a confused tourist. Poor fella was wandering around in sight. Where? Hey, take it easy, big fella. I sent him right over that way, about 2 miles.
Frankie the Rat helping a tourist? It was absurd. Absurd like Max was, back when he had a brain. So imagine my surprise when I found Frankie's tourist wandering around the bad side of town.
Oh! Ah!
You, foreign guy, what's your story?
Ooh, an American police shakedown! How thrilling!
Yeah, it's a real honor. Now, what do you know?
Well, about an hour ago, I was getting directions to the museum district from one of your colorful local rats.
And Frankie sent you here?
Yeah,
That dirty lion rat.
you know, back in Europe, I had so many warnings about your country's rats, but this Frankie was so gracious and helpful. Anyhow, I was about to give him a tip for the help, when all of a sudden a Weltraumliebe Wachzauberkrieg erupted in the middle of one of your asphalt fjords. At least I think it was a Weltraumliebe Wachzauberkrieg. Might have been more of an Ödeler Spuckenfreundel affair. But I digress. After the fight moved on, I discovered that someone had picked my pockets, leaving me empty-handed and evil-skippled in a strange land. I left the scene of the crime, carrying nothing but the clothes on my back. You know what else? I'm starting to think that this isn't actually the museum district. Maybe I am mistaking the friendly rat's directions.
So, the rat said he sent him to the museum district, but he didn't. Let's go talk to Frankie about that, huh?
People in this country are so intense.
And yes, this is how you advance this part. You catch the lies.
The tourists seemed like just another victim circle in the drain, but I knew there was more to the story. It was time to circle back and flush out the truth.
Yep. And there is one other lie that you might have caught there. But let's go talk to Frankie first.
Frankie, what do you know? I was given directions to a confused tourist.
To the museum district?
Yeah, poor fella was wandering
Oh,
around
look,
in circles,
lying.
staring all the...
Don't lie to me, Frankie. I talked to your tourist, and it looks to me like you sent him over to the wrong side of town to get rolled by your rat pack.
Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But this conversation is over.
Really?
I ain't saying nothing till I get some legal representation.
I got your legal representation right here, pal.
Merengue rights.
Do you want a lawyer? Here's an attorney from Smith & Wesson.
Okay, I'll talk. Sheesh. Like you guessed, I gave the tourist directions to the bad side of town, but I was just winding them up, really. Hey, ask me, the schmuck deserved it. Acting all high and mighty and European, wearing his fancy socks. When the big fight broke out, me, the tourist, and the other gorilla ducked down behind a crate, and I, picked their pockets. The tourist was loaded with high-exchange European stuff, but all the other guy had was funny-looking green cubes. After the fight moved on, the tourist got a nice souvenir for his trouble, and I skedaddled back here. And that's all I know on
Got
it.
a
Ask
souvenir,
anybody.
huh?
They'll vouch for old Frankie, if they know what's good for him, that is.
Oh, we can deal with that lie in a second, but let's talk to our little sign spinner friend about not seeing
Stick around.
Skunkape.
I may be back.
I shall count the minutes.
Sign spinner said he didn't see Skunkape, but he's been ID'd by 2 different people as actually being there. So let's go get him, shall we?
I'm back. Now where's Skunkape?
I don't know. I haven't seen General Skunkape since you unjustly imprisoned him in the penal zone. You'll never forget his final terror.
You're lying!
No, I'm not. I haven't seen the General, and I defy anyone to say otherwise.
Go on.
As I
Aw.
was saying, since Skunkape's imprisonment, I've been of abandoned violence for a career. as
Okay,
a
I thought that was the correct path, but it isn't.
Hey, don't you want to know about our baby iguana sale?
I chewed over Frankie's story like a stale piece of turkey jerky. Something about his description of the fight was confusing me.
So let's get this lie ferreted out.
Ooh, a repeat performance.
Let's run through it one more
Remember,
time.
he said he
And
was
speak slowly.
empty-handed.
I'm an American.
As I said before, about an hour ago, I was getting directions to the museum district from one of your colorful local rats. You know, back in Europe, I heard so many warnings about your country's rats. But
Let's
this-
hurry this up.
Hurry it up.
I was about to give him a tip for the help when all of a sudden a Weltraumliebe Wachzauberkrieg erupted in the middle of one of your asphalt fjords. At least I think it was a Weltraumliebe Wachzauberkrieg.
Yeah, that's
Then
what we
what?
want.
After the fight moved on, I discovered that someone had picked my pockets, leaving me empty-handed
There we
and
go.
nibble-skibbled in a strange land. I left the scene of the crime, carrying nothing but the clothes on my back. You know what else? I'm stuck.
Don't play innocent with me, metric lover. The rat saw you pick up something after the fight. Now spill.
Yeah, it's true. I took a souvenir from the fight. I didn't think anyone would notice. Here.
Norrington. Who the heck is Norrington?
I don't know. Just don't hurt me. You Americans are all animals. Animals.
Finally, a clue. Norrington. the name rang fewer bells than a sleigh in July. Fortunately, it didn't need to. Crimetron, do your stuff! What do you mean not found in database?
The Crimetron requires additional clues to make an informed deduction.
Clues? I haven't got time for clues. Max's body is starting to smell. Differently.
Then maybe you should stop yelling at my girlfriend and start with the clue-finding.
Grrr.
Okay. One more trip to the sign spinner here. See if we can call him out for lying here.
I'm back! Now where's Skunkape?
I don't know. I haven't seen General. I'll never forget his final terrified
You're lying!
No, I'm
Nope,
not.
I still got to go
Go
talk
on.
to Frankie.
As I sent Skunkape, I've abandoned violence for a career as a science.
Ah!
I like that yell.
Something Frankie said about the tourist was sticking in my craw like a spoonful of peanut butter. Chunky style. Frankie, what do you know?
Like you guessed, I gave the tourist directions to the bad side of town, but I was just winding him up, really. Hey, ask me, the schmuck deserved it, acting all high and mighty.
No, I
and
don't care
European.
about that.
Hurry it up.
When the big fight broke out, me, the tourist, and the other gorilla ducked down behind a crate, and I picked their pockets. The tourist was loaded with high-exchange European stuff.
Other gorilla? What other gorilla?
There we go.
Believe it or not, it was another space ape. He was spinning a sign for some pet store, the poor schlub.
So that dirty punk sign spinner did see Skunkape.
Anyway, after the fight moved on, the tourist got
That's
a
what I
nice souvenir
needed.
for his trouble, and I skedaddled back here. And that's all I know, honest. Ask it.
Ah!
You're welcome.
So now let's go ferret out that lie.
I'm back! Now where's Skunkape?
I don't know. I haven't seen General Skunkape since you unjustly and
Yeah.
forget his final terrified howl.
That story ain't gonna wash, Bonzo. Your pal Frankie told me all about how you and he hid from a fight between Skunkape and some other guy. Now make with the lip flapping and I better like what I hear.
It's true. A few of your Earth minutes ago, I was spinning my sign for Frankie the Rat and a tourist when General Skunkape came running down the street, chasing after a strangely garbed man. To my everlasting shame, I cowered behind a crate like a common Venusian bonobo as the General and his prey skirmished. After the General and the stranger fled the scene, I discovered that he had
There we
brought
go.
this. I'm surprised he didn't come back for it, but he appeared to be in something of a hurry. Oh well.
Give me that toy.
No! I need it to get back in General Skunkape's good graces. Once I return this artifact to the General, he'll forgive my temporary abandonment of his goals and welcome me back to his crew with open arms. Oh,
Well,
how
let's
I've
crush
come to
that
miss
hope with some
standing
noir,
at my
huh?
General's.
Huh. You're fooling yourself, kid.
What are you talking about?
The only thing Skunkape's gonna welcome you with is a fistful of phasers. You can't go home again. You can't even get on the porch. You've tasted the apple, peed in the pool, bitten the hand that rocks the cradle. You're a sign spinner to him now, and that's all you're ever gonna be.
You're right. It's hopeless. No matter what I do now, I'll never soar through the galaxy at my General's side ever again.
And I hate to tell you, but you're not a very good sign spinner either.
Totally
I
crushing
hated
him.
to see a grown gorilla cry, so I got in the car and looked for another lost soul to join me as I gazed into the abyss.
However, now we have 2 clues.
The last time we saw the rhinoplasty toy, Max's special brain used it to turn into a bazooka. Now it was going to lead me to the guy who stole that special brain. It wasn't exactly ironic. but I didn't care. Okay, Crime-Tron, this is your last chance before I start looking for an upgrade.
Getting harsh, aren't you? Loading.
Come on, you obsolete hunk of junk. Talk! Where's Skunkape?
Sam, no!
Stop holding out on me!
Get away from her, you brute.
Finally.
Audiences across the country say, you're a monster, Sam.
What have you become?
The Museum of Mostly Natural History, the tarnished jewel of the city's once thriving museum district. Max and I always meant to visit, but we'd never gotten around to it. Now we were finally going to take in its thrilling and dubiously educational displays with a vengeance. All right, Skunky, it's time to pay the piper, plus tax and applicable service fees.
And with that, I think it's a good time to call this video. I'm sorry about that chuckle when he was holding a gun to the Crime-Tron's, the scanner's CPU, I guess. But yeah, just that "you brute" from the one would just, that one gets to me. Anyway, when we come back, we'll take a look around the Museum of Mostly Natural History. And what is going on? Weird. The fan caught my microphone there. Sorry about that, folks. So anyway, I will see everyone next time for more Let's Play Sam and Max. Take care, folks. See you later.